The Blood Angels and the Necrons. The Imperium of Man and the Necrons are natural enemies. One is a kingdom of religious warriors, and the other is a race of immortal machines that ruled the galaxy 60 million years ago. Usually they shoot on sight, but this rule has been bent twice, and both times due to the Tyranids. The first incident took place on the planet Gehenna in the final years of the 41st millennium. Commander Dante and his Blood Angels found themselves in a deadlock for 3 weeks against the Necron legions led by the Silent King himself. Neither side could gain the upper hand. Then, out of nowhere, a Tyranid splinter fleet showed up in orbit, ready to consume both armies. In a move that would have been deemed high treason by the Inquisition, Dante made the bold decision to forge a temporary alliance. Together, they fought off the Tyranids, defeated them, and then went their separate ways. The second one happened 43 years later, and it was on a much larger scale when the Hive Fleet Leviathan arrived on the Cryptus system. The Tyranids ripped through the Imperial defenses in just 2 days. With the full force of the Blood Angels, Commander Dante quickly realized it's a losing battle. Then, a Necron overlord named Enriquir the Traveler approached Dante and asked for a temporary truce. Enriquir also encountered the Tyranids before and knew exactly what they were up against. The Necrons had a super weapon called the Magnavitrium that could harness the power of stars. To make it work, Space Marines and Necron robots actually fought shoulder to shoulder, protecting the machine from endless waves of Tyranids. When the machine finally fired, it ignited a nearby gas planet like a second sun, vaporizing the Tyranid fleet in a massive fireball. The Necrons used their advanced tech to teleport away safely, leaving the Blood Angels to survive the heat. Dante knew that without the Necrons, the Tyranids would have eaten them all and the Blood Angels would be extinct. But to save his chapter from being punished by the Imperial Inquisition, Dante had his staff wipe the Necrons out of the official history books. The Blood Axes and the Imperial Guard. Most orcs think tactics are for cowards, and their standard approach is to run straight at a wall until something breaks. The Blood Axes differ in that they plan their attacks and have been known to retreat when a fight stops making sense. Other clans find this embarrassing, but to the Imperium of Man, it makes them very useful mercenaries. On the planet Montar 7, the Praetorian Guard and the Talern Desert Riders were stuck. A gene stealer cult had dug itself deep into the most difficult terrain on the planet, like tunnels and collapsed infrastructure. Exactly the kind of close-quarters environment where human soldiers become casualties and heavy weapons become useless. The cult used ambush tactics and the natural advantage of knowing every inch of the ground they were defending. Sending Imperial troops in after them was a meat grinder the commanders weren't willing to operate. So they hired Blood Axe orcs instead. The payment was a mountain of orc teeth, plus whatever weapons the orcs could strip from the dead once the job was done. They went in and cleared the tunnels as the Imperial Guard watched from a safe distance. When it was over, the Blood Axes collected their teeth and grabbed their salvage. Other clans still bring it up as evidence that Blood Axes can't be trusted. The Blood Axes count their teeth and consider the criticism a reasonable price for getting paid to do what they were going to do anyway. The Seventh Woe and World Eaters. The Drukhari hate all gods. They use pain to survive without surrendering to any higher power. On the flip side, the World Eaters are devoted to Khorne, the blood god, and their sole purpose is to kill with as much noise as possible. Typically, they would just destroy each other. On the world of Gladius, that's exactly what happened until Khorne stepped in. The witch cult of the Seventh Woe are elite arena fighters from the dark city of Kamara. Seeking a challenge, they broke into the World Eaters' fighting pits on Gladius and issued a dare. The World Eaters, who never refuse a fight, accepted. The battle was faster and more brutal than anything the local demons had ever seen. Warriors on both sides fell until almost no one was left. Then Khorne sent a rain of blood to bring every dead fighter back to life. The Blood God was impressed, which is the highest honor a World Eater can receive. Both sides stood up and realized they had found worthy opponents. A strange bond formed based on an obsession with deadly combat. They teamed up to invade the imperial world of Anathema Quartus in an event called the Great Blood Wager. The alliance worked because everyone got what they came for, and Khorne got his skulls. The Grey Knights and the Aeldari. The Grey Knights are known for leaving no witnesses behind. Their sole purpose is to hunt down demons, and officially, they don't even exist. But late in the 41st millennium, a squad of Grey Knights found themselves stationed on a dead Aeldari world for weeks, just waiting for the aliens to come back for their fallen. The craft world Malantai had been shattered by Tyranids. In the ruins, a powerful demon of Slaanesh named Inkari was feasting on spirit stones, gems containing the souls of every Aeldari who had ever lived there. Each soul swallowed was a victory for chaos and a soul lost to eternal torment. The Grey Knights launched their attack, while Inkari managed to take down 12 knights before Justicar Thawne heroically threw himself in front of the demon. His sacrifice bought the time needed to finish a ritual that stripped Inkari of its power, allowing the knights to destroy it. While the main force moved on, 20 purifiers stayed behind to guard over the remaining soul gems until an Aeldari recovery team could arrive. For a few weeks, two factions with no reason to trust each other stood on the same ground without pulling a trigger. The T'au and the Kroot. While exploring near a colony called Krath, T'au fleet found orc warships attacking a race they had never seen before, the Kroot. The T'au meant to stay back and watch, but the Kroot's refusal to give up, even when hopelessly outnumbered, moved the T'au commanders. They couldn't just walk away, they attacked and destroyed the orc ships. Only then did the T'au realize they had jumped into a massive invasion. What started as a quick rescue turned into a 10-year war. T'au and Kroot fought side by side across several star systems, pushing the orcs back until they reached Pek, the Kroot homeworld. And there, at a holy site called the Sacred Oath Stone, the legendary Kroot leader Angkor Prak swore loyalty to the T'au Empire. This promise was made on Kroot terms and has never been broken. Today, Kroot warriors serve in almost every T'au army, providing hand-to-hand fighting skills. The Iron Warriors and the Dark Mechanicum. The Iron Warriors are siege specialists, and they are obsessed with the math of destruction. The Dark Mechanicum are tech priests who turned evil 10,000 years ago. They live in a nightmare dimension called the Eye of Terror, where they fuse sorcery with machinery. On their own, neither group has everything they need, but together, they build the galaxy's most terrifying weapons. Demon engines fused with warp presence and artillery designed to crack void shields. This partnership has lasted for 10,000 years. Neither side trusts the other, but they don't have to, because they only care about the results. Even the secret police of the Imperium know this alliance exists, but trying to go into the Eye of Terror to stop them is a suicide mission. The Ultramarines and the T'au. In the late 41st millennium, a T'au mission and an Ultramarine strike force met on the planet Malbid to fight over the same land. As their battle grew intense, their heavy weapons cracked the planet's surface, accidentally waking a Necron tomb buried deep underground. The ancient robots rose from the dirt and attacked both armies at once. There were no meetings or peace talks, and both commanders simply looked at the new mechanical nightmare. They instantly combined their fire and crushed the Necrons together. The second the tomb was shut down, the T'au and Ultramarines went right back to killing each other exactly where they had stopped. No official records were kept, and neither side admitted it ever happened. In a galaxy where alliances usually cost blood or pride, this one cost nothing. The Imperium and the Drukhari. The Golden Throne, the life support machine for the Emperor, is breaking. The tech priests of Mars have known this for 3,000 years. By the end of the 41st millennium, they realized the machine would fail within 2 centuries, and they had no way to fix it. The problem is that the throne uses ancient alien technology that no human truly understands. Only one group has that knowledge. The Drukhari and their dark scientists have spent 10,000 years mastering the exact same weird tech. A group of secret Imperial leaders made a desperate deal. They allowed the Drukhari to kidnap thousands of humans from unprotected planets. In exchange, the homunculi traveled to Earth to repair the throne. The Drukhari built the replacement parts, but also took something else, an interface device containing the Emperor's genetic material to clone, which was what they had actually come for. When a custodian discovered what had been secretly taken, he ended the alliance instantly by beheading the Drukhari experts on site. Trazyn and the Imperium. Trazyn the Infinite has spent 60 million years collecting famous people and items. On his museum planet, he has soldiers from long-forgotten wars and snipers from dead worlds kept frozen in time. He sees the galaxy as his personal art gallery, and he wants to keep it that way. When a massive chaos invasion threatened to destroy the galaxy, Trazyn's collection started acting strange. Ancient bells rang on their own, and his equipment malfunctioned. Trazyn realized that if chaos won, there would be nothing left to collect. He went to the planet Cadia and found a human scientist named Belisarius Cawl trying to turn on ancient alien towers that could stop chaos. Trazyn gave Cawl the technical secrets no human knew, and together they powered up the defenses. But it wasn't enough. As the tunnels collapsed, Trazyn opened his collection boxes and threw them onto the battlefield. Suddenly, warriors from thousands of years ago, Ultramarines, and even a Golden Guardian of the Emperor appeared out of thin air to fight the Chaos Invaders. They bought the survivors just enough time to escape. When Trazyn saw the planet was finally doomed, he walked up to the last human general, Ursarkar Creed, and sucked him into a collection box, and vanished. Turns out, Trazyn is the ultimate wildcard ally that could save your life today, so that he could put you on a shelf tomorrow. The Harlequins and Everyone. The Harlequins have one simple rule. If you're fighting Slaanesh, they're on your side. If you aren't, get out of the way. They serve the Laughing God, the only Aeldari deity who escaped being eaten by the Chaos God Slaanesh. As keepers of the galaxy's most dangerous secrets, they travel through hidden tunnels called the Webway. They perform plays about their history for other aliens, but their real job is war. Every Aeldari faction, even the evil Drukhari, lets them pass without question. The Harlequins have teamed up with human secret agents and even chaos traders, as long as everyone is killing the same enemy. But their biggest move happened without a single bullet being fired. A Harlequin named Salandri Veilwalker spent years quietly nudging a human scientist named Belisarius Cawl. She guided him to the right places and introduced him to Ivrain, an Aeldari leader who serves the god of the dead. When the Imperium was about to fall, these two groups worked together to reach the body of the legendary hero Roboti Guilliman, who had been frozen on the brink of death for 10,000 years. To save him, they had to let him die first so the god of the dead could bring him back. Guilliman woke up, saw the mess the galaxy was in, and started fighting to save humanity. This is the ultimate long game, and the alliance worked because the Harlequins were clever enough to place Guilliman as the lead actor to play a part in their war against the gods. Thanks for watching until the end. Click here to check out another video and see you in the next one.